BC goes up 5, the crowd is going nuts, and Isaiah takes and makes a face-up jump shot. Does that take a little something for a first-year guy to do that?
Yeah, I mean, I think he's got some game in him. You can see that in certain settings. He's not afraid of the moment. And I thought his alertness was important for us. I thought, again, like when we played Notre Dame, when they had Connington, that stretch 4 that can drive and shoot the 3, the matchup, I thought Evan, he did a real good job with his alertness, and Isaiah, those were good matchups. But Isaiah in his first year, to keep some possessions alive with offensive rebounds and then to take the big shot and do some things, that was good. I think he gave us a great lift, as did a lot of guys. I mean, we can go down the list, but that was a nice moment for him, certainly.
Isabel.
That Justin Anderson doesn't make a field goal and you guys still come out with a win. What does that sort of say about how balanced you guys are?
Excuse me. Yeah, I thought I complimented Justin and Darian after the game in the locker room, because they both struggled in the first half offensively, missing some bunnies, or Justin missing some rhythm shots. And they were okay defensively, but I thought they showed maturity in the second half because they just kept playing, and they were pretty sound defensively. I believe, I'll watch the tape, sometimes I misspeak, but they played through and didn't let their offense define them when they were a little shaky, and I thought they did a good job. Justin got to the free throw line, and then Darian, really, we needed that. Again, Hanlon's so quick, and they run real good action. Jim does a great job that you got to be able to show on those ball screens, and you need mobility, and then they back it up with a 4-man like Heckman the way he was playing. So I liked how they responded, and I thought Justin responded and handled that well. And so maybe a couple shots that he could have passed up, but he still let it come, but was in a good place in the second half.
You guys haven't had a lot of success in this building. Does that make you any more aware of the challenge as you come in here today?
I mean, I just know, we talk about it. You're going to get people's best, and watching them on film and seeing how competitive, they beat a good Providence team, and watching, they got a veteran team. I mean, you look at that, 2 fifth-year guards that are transfer graduate guys, and then obviously we know how good Hanlon is, a junior. All of them, I think, are either seniors or a couple juniors. So you knew that. You watched how they've played Miami to a possession game, and how they're defending and they're running some hard stuff to guard. So all those things combined, knowing you're going to have to work. And again, we just tried to stay in there, and then we did finish well. I thought London had a heck of a game. You guys could see that. Was real good down the stretch, and we needed to finish strong because, again, it's a fine line, but we hung in there.
Take one in the back and then.
Charlie, you kind of alluded to it about the concerns you may have had in your preparation for Boston College coming in here. You face a team that's been winless. What concerns do you have about you guys coming in here and stubbing a toe, on the road and,
Yeah.
carrying a number 2 ranking in the nation?
Yeah, we don't get too hung up in that stuff. It's just, all right, what's the game in front of us, and being as ready as we can. And they present some challenges. Again, we don't knock people out. We're not a knockout punch team, but knowing you're going to have to stay in there and hang in there against their stuff because, again, watching them with their maturity, watching that offense, it gives people trouble, and then they back it up. They always end with Hanlon flying off of a ball screen trying to get at you, and he's a handful, and then, again, you add that stuff. So we were a great respect for their program. They were hard to guard last year. Coach Donahue had them spread out. I mean, that pros problems. Coach Christian, I mean, the stuff they're doing, they're guarding, they make you work with that maturity. So by no means we don't look by anybody. We're not built like that. We knew we'd have to play, and we were fortunate.
Right here.
To continue on that point, Patrick Heckman had 9 points to start, and BC gets the second half, and BC gets up like 5. Fair to say you were kind of expecting them to make that kind of surge?
Well, I wasn't expecting Heckman to get layups at the rim. I thought our defense, they broke us down with some good action. We had some miscommunication. And, anytime a home team gets an easy, uncontested one right at the rim, or offensive putbacks or little things, you can see the momentum go towards them. You see their energy. You feel the crowd. And I just didn't like that. It reminded me of when we were at Maryland and Lehman laying it at the front of the rim. And that's where I thought Isaiah and Evan did a nice job matching up, and then we got some good second chance points. Again, I can point to all the guys. The only guy that had trouble was Toby with the foul trouble. It was I feel bad because I want to watch the tape and see that, but I thought everybody, when you look at Anthony's stat line, and these guys needed to step up, and didn't want to give them that many easy ones, but I knew that they weren't going anywhere. You could just tell, and they've kind of been, it looks like that with most teams in there, and competitive, and that's what you're going to get.
Right here.
Hi, Tony. You kind of touched on it, but just comment more on Parenti's getting that final run started.
Yeah.
It was pretty definite.
Was it? Is that the one he banged the three, or was it? Did he do some? Just, you know, these guys who've watched London play over the years, he's so steady. You look at it, he took 5 shots and kind of controlled the game for us, especially down the stretch, and slid his feet defensively. A couple of those passes he made to Darian over his shoulder, a couple off the ball screen, knocking down the big three. That's his value doesn't always show up. It looks pretty good on the stat sheet, but you know, you could double it in this game what he did, and I liked his steadiness, and I liked, you know, his feel, and he's been providing that. And then you got, you know, Malcolm, who had gotten foul trouble, and guys had to step up, and then Malcolm was steady when he came in too.
Jeff and then Whitey.
Tony, you mentioned Justin's free throw shooting. He come out of a TV timeout with about 7 minutes left. It's a 4-point game. He goes to the line for 3, makes all 3. And how pivotal a sequence is that?
Yeah, I mean, anytime you can get those things to 2-possession, 3-possession games, that's significant. And in a game that was tight and hard fought like that, points were hard to come by. And you know, especially when a guy is struggling like that, and to see him step to the line, there's different ways you can get going. And you know, it shouldn't be this way, but I think when you just see the ball go through the rim, maybe it gives certain guys a little more pep in their step on the defensive end, and we needed it all. And you know, I think he was bringing value in that way.
2 more questions, Whitey, and then in the back.
I think a game or 2 ago, Tony, you maybe expressed some concern about your rebounding, particularly teams crashing the offensive glass. Was this game kind of a step in the right direction?
Yeah, I mean, you look at Anthony's stat line and Isaiah; those guys got 8 of the 10. But we needed to rebound because they stretch you out and they play more of a 4-guard lineup, you know, similar to some of those teams. So the ability to, again, we worked hard leading up to this on trying to be good blockout teams, but sometimes it comes down to just going and getting it. But we did have, you know, second chance points. 10-2. They had a lot of points in the paint, I see, but the rebounding was significant for us, and they missed some close ones at the end, whether they just was fatigue, they missed some, but to be able to come in there and snatch some and kind of one and done them was real important because they only got 4 second opportunities.
Okay, last one in the back.
Just to follow up on Heckman, did you feel like was there anything in particular that you did to adjust to try to cool him off there? You know,
Yeah,
really got
well, some of it was personnel. We thought, okay, maybe we can get a little more of a mobile guy out there, and we did a little bit of an adjustment. I mean, we had some trouble against Miami with a similar action, so we've made the adjustment. We just weren't quite executing it the right way, but we talked about it at halftime, and again, most of it was personnel and just guys being sharp and, you know, what we wanted to do on the front side of it, because it's a complicated action what they do, and it's good, but I thought, again, Evan and Isaiah gave us a little more of that, and they matched up well, and just tried to keep them in front. We let them get going. We gave them a couple. We close out, boom, he's biased, laying it in, and you can't let a player get the easy ones like that.